Well, the backcountry better beware when you unsheathe the Tops Knives Cuma Kage short sword. That's right, folks. We have a legitimate short sword. Man, say that 5 times fast. On our hands here from Tops. I mean, we're looking at a over 15-inch blade, 1/4 inch thick, 1095 steel. This handle is over 8 inches long. Micarta. I mean, we have got a beast to play with today. And that's what it is. I mean, it's just straight up fun using a tool this big. So let's jump into it and see what this tool has going on and where and when you'd use it. All right, guys, just had to, for size perspective, pull in my biggest blade that I have in the collection currently. I believe it's my biggest one, the Essie Hungerless. Just want to show you that in perspective. I mean, this knife dwarfs it, and then the Becker BK2, just for, again, size perspective. I mean, this knife is so freaking ginormous. And what we do have, again, just to hit those with you, is USA made 1095 high carbon steel, 1/4 inch thick. We have a saber grind, and it is 15.5 inches overall blade length. So that's a lot to work with. It's a beast. It's going to weigh 35 ounces overall, plus another 7 ounces for the sheath. So this is basically 2 swords in one, so I'm going to take it in portions and discuss kind of the front end first, where the weight is, and where it kind of has this sweeping belly portion, and then we'll hit closer to the blade itself, or excuse me, closer to the handle itself. Now, with that saber grind and that 1/4 inch thickness, great relief edge, folks. The relief edge on this tool was really well done. Now, if you're doing insane chopping on super hardwood, you may actually, at this portion up here, dull out the blade a little bit. I haven't had any chipping, rolling issues. It's working great for 1095, but that is something, maybe if you're just hacking and you're not going through greenery. I believe this is designed more for flesh and greenery at the edge geometry that it has, or softer woods, which I usually work with, which is like pine and aspen and, you know, those type of things. If you're using like hickory and you're going after that, up here is where you're going to be connecting with the wood, either in a chop or in an over the head split, because yes, it does that. Over the head split of pine that was about 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter is bananas for this tool. I have never been able to do that with another fixed blade, and I don't know if I ever will again, because of the way that this is designed with that front end weight and the connection point. So you can absolutely do that, and wow, was that so much fun. I was basically doing hatchet chops, and anything a compact hatchet could do, this can easily do the exact same thing. So it's crazy that you have that capability with this tool. But also then chopping, if you are going to be doing, I would say, medium chopping. You know, usually it's like light chopping for machete on wood. This could easily handle medium chopping easily. You know, you could easily bring down something the size of your calf, you know, 4 to 6 inches in diameter, a tree or a giant branch, no problem. Cakewalk all day long. And in some ways maybe even outperform some of your more compact hatchets, just because of the way it is designed with that belly and then that piercing point as well. You could easily do that, stab into stuff, pierce into stuff, zombie apocalypse, zombies look out, you know, those type of environments. So that front end with that weight and that belly, and then that very mild recurve right there, just accelerates all the impact, and it gives you a wide edge of several inches to impact whatever material you may be hitting, and then gouge out huge chunks or split if needed, which is just epic. And as we move in towards the handle, this is where you're going to do, if you are, any finer work, those type of activities, and the edge geometry is good for that. As you can see, I can easily get the tool, even though the balance, you know, is so big and it is a front heavy tool. The edge geometry does allow for those feather sticks or pull cuts, you know, towards you. If you wanted to do something like that, you know, you're laying on, or you're sitting on a log and you're wanting to carve off the top, I mean, who knows, make a canoe, you just want to get those really nice paper thin shavings. It has the edge geometry to do that, which is very cool. You know, it's not just literally like a blunt object and it's basically like, kind of looks like a knife or sword, but it's basically a bludgeon. That's not what it is. It is absolutely a wicked tool that can absolutely slice through the material that you're connecting with. Now this would also be where you're going to baton, and you can easily baton some pretty wicked stuff. From everything that I've tested, some pretty beefy stuff. It's going to easily do it. It has so much blade length to span. It's going to be kind of bananas. So the 1/4 inch thickness helps with all of that, and that robustness and that saber grind. And it works, it does what it's supposed to do, as well as any fruit or vegetables that you want to take out. It's easily going to be able to do that. Yes, it's sheath time, and I am pumped. You know, when I first saw this come out, I'm like, oh man, please, please, please let it be in a good sheath, not some budget nylon thing. It would be terrible. But we got ourselves a taco designed belt lanyard dangle option Kydex sheath, baby. And this thing is dope, and it works. So you got lots of lashing points. You could, you know, lash to a pack. You could put a leg dangler, which you probably would want to do if you are actually going to be like trekking through the bush with this on your hip. It is right-handed only, but you could easily cross draw this sucker if you're left-handed. Great leather loop over, belt attachment, ring attachment. Pretty quiet. You're gonna get a little bit of rattle down here. Good thumb ramp right there. That makes it easy to pull out, baby. So if this is something that you're like, dude, I live in the jungle and this is something that I need, dude, I'm expecting the apocalypse to hit any moment, and those zombies are gonna need me to deploy this very quickly against them. Dude, the sheath is where it's at. So I mean, that is a huge selling point to me, that there is no need to upgrade on this blade. Okay, so this handle is massive. I can almost get a full grip two-handed right there like that. My pinky is just starting to get onto this little back bird's beak right here. I could absolutely do it. I didn't really ever use it that way. I just tried it. I mean, it works. If you have smaller hands, it might be fun to do some dual wielding. So wherever the bears are around here, if they're watching, they better freaking watch out, man. Look at that thing. Oh man, we're snake eyes when you need them. Whoosh. Anyway, so good little cut-ins, nothing super aggressive, no jimping, which I'm totally down with. Huge cutout here, so if you did stab, you got a good lock-in portion right there. You do have a glass breaker style bird beak right there exposed because of how big the handle is, and how full, you know, a little bit of valleying, but big full handle there. This is just how I tend to do it. So little trick, if you don't know, go backwards over the back of your hand, boom, that'll lock you into place. And so I just kind of grip it right in the center if I'm doing heavy chopping, and it ain't really going anywhere. So, and you can easily wield it that way for realistic chopping tasks, and you can still kind of choke up right there if you are doing more green, you know, just kind of light swings going through greenery and that type of thing. You can easily do that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you like, dude, you could totally like notch a bull and then you could like make 5 triggers with it and it would be perfect and you'd love it. I'm not going to tell that to you. It's a huge freaking short sword. It's not designed to do that. It's designed to be swung and stabbed in general. So, I mean, that is the main purpose. Can I get away with a few feather sticks? Yes, and because of the way that Tops always does with their awesome edge geometry, the relief edge up here, particularly in this portion right here, for like the first maybe 4 inches, I can do it. It's massive. I mean, you better like make sure you got tons of clearance when you are doing your feather stick if you were to do that, and you could get away with it. But a much more compact pocket knife, you know, little compact, you know, fixed blade would be way more suited for that. You know, you could get up here and start using the big bellied portion and, you know, try to carve some stuff out. It's doable, sure. It's not what I'm going to try to use this as. It's not really designed to do that. Now, I would say this is absolutely a knife that would have been awesome to have a really good large finger choil just to give me a little bit more to work with, but that would have removed really the whole profile style, and it just, it doesn't, even though it would make sense in a tool like this, visually it would take away from what the tool is. And because of the way they designed it with that good guard, but I'm still pretty close to the edge, I felt like I had at least decent control, particularly for like, you know, making a spear or a spear tip or doing like a feather stick. It is doable, but chopping and swinging is really where it's at. And I didn't have any shock, it didn't have any issues. And did exactly what it was supposed to do in that giant handle. Oh man, I'm just so pumped and so glad Tops hooked me up with this blade so I can show you guys what this tool is doing. Now pricing, MSRP is $360, and it's really tricky to get your hands on it. If you want it now, you're gonna probably have to go over to the Tops website. I would argue for that price, you are getting a one of a kind, man. You're not gonna be able to find too many other tools like this on the market. USA made, $10.95, and giving you what you're getting, including the Kydex sheath. I mean, that is a big selling point to me, that they did put this on Kydex and not nylon or something like that. So that's awesome, so awesome. I have seen, if they are available, I've seen it from like 300 to even like maybe 270, something like that. So I will have a bunch of links below, not only to the Tops website so you can kind of dive in a little bit more, but also, you know, Blade HQ, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, GP Knives, so you guys can kind of check it out, see what's available, and then see if there's a price and availability. That's the other thing. You know, when I was at the Tops factory recently, it was so cool to see them from front to back making knives and tools, and they're so backlogged, and still wanting to keep, you know, obviously the designs and the, you know, quality control, all that stuff. And so if you're having a hard time finding one, just stay patient and look on their site as well as the other distributors. And I know sooner or later, you know, these are going to become more accessible. And I mean, if you want a short sword and hang out with the G.I. Joe crew and Snake Eyes, I mean, you're not going to find something else like this, and it insanely can actually perform. It doesn't feel like a toy. It's not a toy for us boys, you know, adult boys, but it is that too. It is absolutely a insane high quality tool at the same time as scratching that itch of all of us who grew up watching G.I. Joe and playing with our Snake Eyes action figures, giving us that itch as well. Feel free to leave comments. I look forward to hearing your guys' take on the tool, and whether or not it is something that you see value in. Are you going to pursue it? And it's just so much fun to be able to show you guys, the audience, and take you along with me to test out some radical stuff. So, yep, one of a kind. I can't really compare it to anything else. I don't have anything else in the collection. Never really seen anything in the collection that could even compare. So, yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming over today, and I look forward to all the discussion. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.